everyone. I'm not sure if anyone is already watching, but welcome to my stream. I am very nervous and very anxious about this, but I hope you enjoy it. I'm just gonna sketch for a while. I have Clip Studio Paint open on my tablet. I'm just gonna be sketching, and if you have any questions, you can just write them in the chat. I'll be keeping an eye on it, and I'll be answering any questions you have. And otherwise, I'll just about things and stuff. So yeah, feel free to share your opinions as well. So yeah. Also, please let me know if there are any issues with the audio. I hope you can hear me. I hope I'm not too loud, and I hope I'm not too quiet. And I hope the music in the background is okay. I hope you can actually hear it. Like I said, this is basically the first time of me streaming and actually like talking, so please excuse my awkward self and excuse me being maybe a bit weird. Anyway, let's actually start like sketching something, because I'm sure that will help with the nervousness as well. I'm not going to be doing anything crazy, especially now because I haven't actually drawn yet today. So I'm just going to be doing some warm-ups, some faces, get down some ideas. Nothing special, nothing too ambitious. But who knows? Maybe it'll turn into something ambitious. I don't know. You know, sometimes it's the small stuff that surprises us. And yeah, who knows? Let's be surprised. Anyway, I've just been, I'm on my weekend now. And if you guys don't know, which I'm just assuming that most of you don't, I go to an art school. I'm studying graphic design, and I visit the school every day during the week. So I'm 5 days a week. I'm there. I actually have to commute with the train, which is surprisingly nice. Didn't expect it to like it that much, to be honest. But it's difficult to maintain the drive of wanting to draw for yourself when you do it every day, especially when you don't necessarily do it for yourself, because as any school, you just have to do what the teachers tell you. So we've had like a project now where we did a lot of performance art, especially at the end, which is not something I genuinely enjoy, to be honest. It's not my thing. I prefer drawing and sketching and illustrating. So that was a challenge. But you know, sometimes you have to step out of your comfort zone and try things. Even if you end up not liking them, fine. But even if you end up not liking them, it's fine. You just have to get through them and hope that the next project is better, which I'm hoping it's gonna be, because it's supposed to be illustration. So I'm kind of excited to do that. Either it's frustrating because they don't really tell you in advance like the actual things you'll be doing. So we had a project that was drawing, and we started with doing a lot of like real life drawing. So we went out and we sketched people and things we saw, and then we just made a comic in the end, like a completely free one, which was very fun. But it's a weird position that you're in if you don't really know what to expect for the next day. Especially me, because I do have anxiety, and it doesn't help to not know what's going to be happening, because I do like to be prepared. Yeah, that one surprised me, for example, in good way, which isn't always the case, but you know. And yeah, I do graphic design, or at least I started. I'm in my first year, so no big expectations yet, please. I'm in my first year. We've done a lot of things to do with actual graphic design. We had a project about, what was it? About creating signature looks, I guess, or creating like little logos for a cause that we personally cared about. So that was interesting. And we had, what more? I forget so easily all the stuff we've already done, especially in how 2020 was. I didn't really register all the stuff we did, which is kind of sad. But you know, still have 4 years, so I should be able to at least remember some of that. So yeah. Again, if anyone new is watching, if you have any questions, you can write them in the chat. I am keeping an eye on it, so just let me know. I'm also very interested in like computer building lately. I've been watching a lot of videos. I've been watching this Twitch streamer called Christopher Yee, and he also has a YouTube channel, and he actually does like computer building, and he does a lot of I guess educational videos about computer building, where he like helps you out and tells you which parts are worth buying and which aren't, which is something I definitely need because I have no idea. I literally am a noob. I have no idea about what's something good and what isn't. So I've been really into that lately. Because I do, like, you can't hear it right now. I hope, at least. Because I tried turning it off. But you can, my computer is very loud. I have a laptop. It's a portable. And it's very loud. The fan in it is very, very loud, which can be quite distracting and annoying, especially if you're trying to, you know, stream, for example. So I've been looking into maybe getting a computer. And more importantly, I've been looking into building a computer because I do love the idea of just doing it myself and getting to decide which parts I want, and which ones I don't, and all that stuff. So I've been very interested in watching all those videos and informing myself about what I can do and what I can't, especially regarding my budget and the money I actually have, which is not a lot. So I've been informing myself about it. An interesting thing to do. So if you know anything, let me know. But yeah. As you can see, I'm just sketching out random girls. This usually is my go-to, especially when I'm warming up, because it's the thing I like drawing the most, I guess. Just random pretty girls. I've been trying to expand my knowledge on hairdos. They do tend to do the same ones. But in the end, who's to tell you what's good and what isn't? And why shouldn't you draw what you like, you know? But I've been trying to expand. And I've been trying to get into figure drawing again, which has been very fun. Surprisingly fun. Of course, not in person. I've just been doing it with websites that give you access to figure drawing pictures, I guess, which has been very fun. But yeah, I do tend to still draw what I like, which I think is fine. Don't feel bad about it. I think I would like to expand what I draw at some point, but I don't want to feel pressured to do it because, I don't know, don't really want to lose the fun I have when I draw. I'm glad that the audio is fine. Thank you. I'm very glad. Yeah, I was very worried about the fan being too loud, especially because like my computer is right next to me, because otherwise my earphones wouldn't reach. So I'm very, very glad about it. Thank you. I've been... Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh my god, I'm so forgetful. Oh yeah, I would like to expand what I draw, especially looking into like drawing guys as well, because that's something I struggle with a lot, because it's not something I do a lot. So I've been trying to do that, which is harder than it seems, to be honest. If you're not used to drawing something, at least for me, it can be difficult to get into it because I get very insecure. And as soon as I get insecure or it doesn't work out immediately, I just shut down, or I tend to shut down quite quickly, which is not ideal when you're trying to learn something new, to be honest. I've been trying to overcome that, or try to overcome that. Which I think mostly drawing app for change, hell yeah. I wish. They always look so unnatural and so bad. It's just so frustrating. But yeah, I really want to. Especially because I wish I could draw like good fan art. Like fan art that I'm happy with, which is so difficult to do. Especially if for some reason I usually like male characters a lot more than female ones. Or at least I watch a lot of shows where the male characters are like the center. So those usually tend to be my favorite characters. But I can't draw them because I get so frustrated and I don't like how it turns out, so I just tend not to do it. Which in general is an issue with like fan art, to be honest. Because I have a clear picture in my head of how they are supposed to look like and how I want them to look like or how I want to draw them. But because I don't have enough experience to actually turn it into a drawing, it gets very frustrating. But I have done fan art lately. I did an illustration of Corpse Husband, who I'm a big fan of, and that one turned out surprisingly well for me. Like, I was happy with it, which in the end is the most important part, in my opinion. But yeah, so that was surprising that went so well. But it's been difficult, and it was only a face, so it wasn't. I didn't draw a male body because I suck at drawing male bodies, so I just don't. But I might change that. I don't know. Maybe it's a slow process. Maybe I just give myself time. I don't know. But I would love to do some fan art, especially because I do watch a lot of anime, and I basically live off of fan art from my favorite characters. So it's frustrating when you're not one of the people who can actually do them. Yeah. I might do that. I don't know. Oh yeah, slim guys are so hard to draw. Oh my god, yes. Slim guys are very, very hard to draw. I agree. Because they always end up feeling unnatural. Oh, maybe that could be. Maybe curvy bodies are more pleasing to me as well, at least aesthetically. Could be. I tend to draw even girls like with curves or more curves than might be normal or natural, I guess. Maybe that could be. Yeah, and with guys, I don't think you have a lot of options of making them curvy, at least not in a way you can with girls, because their bodies tend to not be curvy, at least not naturally. Yeah. And a lot of times I always feel like you can draw girls like more masculine and they still look like girls. But when you draw guys, it's way more difficult to make them look like guys, even especially if you want to draw them more feminine or with more feminine features. I think it tends to look like a girl way more quickly, which can be frustrating. But yeah, I think I need to just sit down at some point and just do it and try to study male bodies and see what I like or what I don't, or what I could do to make them actually look like guys. I think that might be the only way. Yeah. But it's always the same. Like, I watch anime and then I just get this urge to draw. And I want to draw the characters. But I can't. So I just consume a lot of fan art in the meantime. Which is also a good thing. Because I get to support other artists. Which I'm absolutely fine with. And there are so many good like fan artists out there. Or just artists that do fan art. That not necessary. Just an urge that I have. I've been rewatching a lot of anime actually. I've rewatched. I'm like halfway through with Death Note. Oh yeah, drawing hands and muscles. All the things I suck at. Oh my god, especially hands are so difficult. It's like such a cliche, but they are so difficult to draw. At least I struggle with them a ton. Which can be so frustrating because hands are so pretty. Oh, it's so frustrating. Especially because I would love to like do some elegant poses. And I always feel like elegant poses basically live off of their hands positions. Because they can give such a flair. Oh yeah, the struggle is real. But yeah. I really need to practice hands. A lot of the times I just stop myself from doing it. Again, for the same reasons as I stop myself from drawing fan art, because I get frustrated very easily. But yeah, I need to. I really do. And I do have like a great environment at the moment in school. Like, my friend group is amazing. They're very supportive, and it's been great like getting to talk with people that are also interested in art and also want to do art and in general have the same interests. It's been very fun. Which doesn't mean that I don't appreciate my friends that don't do art. I definitely do. But it's interesting when you find someone who does the same thing as you do and is interested in the same things. Kind of changes the game, I think. Circles for hands. Yeah. I do very abstract, like, I don't know, just abstract forms for the hands, which is very, very funny. And also my sketchbooks are like full of people with unfinished hands because I just don't want to ruin the sketch that that I enjoy or that I like. So I just don't. I refuse to do it, which is very funny. And I also almost feel compelled to like explain myself when people look through my sketchbook. I'm like, no, it's fine. It's just a sketchbook. I also like admire people that their entire style is very cartoony or very, yeah, Animal Crossing like, for example. I think those are great. But mine always look like they are that way without me wanting them to be. Like it's not a choice. It's just they look like that because I just can't. I can't draw them differently. It's very funny. See, the sketch is turning out nice. Oh, it's always the ones that you don't expect. Oh no, no. Thank you. I'm very proud of it too, to be honest. I might have done it a bit low. Could be. Need to see how I do the mouth. And then I'll decide if it's too low or if it's fine. I've been like been very unhappy with how I draw lately. So I've been looking into, I've been just looking at the art I did in 2020 and looking specifically at the drawings that I liked and that I still like. I'm still very proud of a lot of pieces I did in 2020. So I've just been looking at those and figuring out what I liked about them, what I enjoyed while drawing them, and trying to replicate it in a way, or at least take a note of what are things that I do enjoy. Because, in the end, it's my art, so it should be something I'm enjoying. And I wasn't for a while. Like over Christmas break and everything, wasn't enjoying doing art. Which is fine. I think everyone has those phases. I'm not like mad at myself for not being happy with what I was doing. I think that's part of the creative process. But it's frustrating. Frustrating when you get into an art block, especially because they happen sometimes when you finally have the time to actually draw and you just sit there and nothing wants to work. Very frustrating. I've been learning to forgive myself. Been learning to understand that, we're not machines. We're human beings. So things don't always go as smoothly as we want to, and that's fine. Also, yeah, noses are hard. Especially because noses are so different. Like, if you actually look at, I don't know, if you looked at a lineup of like 18 people, every single nose is different. And like there are pretty big differences, which can be quite difficult to replicate, I think. So yeah, noses are something I think a lot of people struggle with. Especially if you draw, if it's like unclear for yourself if you draw cartoony or realistic, I think that can also be a big factor to why you struggle with noses. Because, oh my god, it's so difficult to do a nose that works with the style that you like or that you want to do. Like, I always have that issue that the nose is either too cartoony or too easy in a way, or it's just too realistic for what I'm trying, which can be very difficult to change, especially because it just changes the entire face, which is also so specific when it comes to noses. Like they can change everything. They can change an entire face without you actually wanting them to. Because they're so specific and so special, and they're also in the middle of the face, so they do attract attention. I don't know. It's a very special body part. But I do like them. I think I was telling my boyfriend lately that I sometimes just sit in the train, and if I see someone with like a very interesting nose, I like try to, I don't know, understand how it works so I can draw it later on, which sounds very creepy and weird. But it's something I do because it's, no, I don't think you can ever, I don't think you can ever stop studying faces and people and movement and bodies. There's no way that you can know everything. Yeah. Yeah, I think everyone tends to go to like an archetype or a very specific type of nose that they just go for. I do that a lot with my site profile views. Those are very, yeah, those are very archetypical. Can you say that? Not sure. But yeah, those usually look very similar. Because it's, especially in site profiles, I think, in my experience, they can look very unnatural very quickly. And because the proportions are so important. I think more important than when you do just a frontal face. So it's very, I don't know, it's very interesting. Yeah. But I have to say, I think I'm one of those weird people. I do enjoy drawing site profiles. I do enjoy them a lot. And I think I just had a phase where I basically only drew site profiles. And I enjoy them now because I have that practice and I actually like did it a lot. Yeah. But it's fun. I don't know, in the end I think it's just a matter of practice. Which is always the cop-out answer of any artist, but it's true. But it's always the one where like anyone who asks for advice just gets annoyed. Because it's such a difficult thing to do. Especially if it's so, if someone just tells you to, yeah, just practice. There's nothing else. It's very difficult to actually like turn into something. Which is why I like to recommend specific things. Like for example, those live drawing websites that I use. I do like to recommend those because I think it's easier to get into it if you have a specific idea of what you want. Ooh, it's not turning too bad. Oh, the times I've like turned off the sketch layer and it was horrendous. Those are the worst. Oh, I've been getting into anime lately. A lot of it. It always comes in waves. And like I have these hyperfixation moments where I suddenly feel like I can't see anything that has real people in it because it just seems awkward more than anything else. So I tend to have these phases of anime, and I am in one right now. Been in for a while, and I watched an anime with a friend lately, which is called Jujutsu Kaisen, which has blown up. It's like a huge thing now. A lot of people love it for a good reason. It's a great anime. It has amazing characters. But it's been very sad. It's Especially like the ending of the first part, because they did a hiatus. The ending of the first part was really, really sad. Which came kind of out of left field because I didn't expect it. Or I was like sure that it wasn't gonna go there, and it did. So I've been interested in seeing what they did now. Because apparently I think yesterday or the day before, the new episode came out. Like of part 2. I've been very interested in seeing it, but I'm also very scared of watching it. Because I know it's gonna be sad. I know it's gonna make me sad, and I'm not really in the mood to be sad. I've just been rewatching comfort animes. Been rewatching Haikyuu again for like the 500th time. And I've also been rewatching Death Note, surprisingly, that I haven't watched in a bit. But I do. Death Note tends to be one that I rewatch like once a year for some reason. I just enjoy it. I think it's fun. It's great because I already know what happens, so I can actually do stuff while like watching it or while listening to it. So that's always great. I always enjoy that. I've been watching that a lot. And I've also been anxiously waiting for the new season of Boku no Hero, like of My Hero Academia. Like anxiously. I'm very excited about it. I don't know if you guys watch it, but it has like different classes. And the second class, so there's 1A, which is the main characters are in it, and then there's 1B, which has a lot of interesting characters in it, and we haven't really met them yet, at least not fully. And now it's their turn, and I'm very, very excited to like see what they do and how they work and all that stuff. I do tend to not watch trailers though, because I saw just this morning I got recommended like the trailer for the new season, and I haven't watched it yet. I'm not sure if I will, because I don't necessarily like getting spoiled. But I might have to just cave in and watch it. Oh yeah, Haikyuu is great. Haikyuu is one of my all-time favorite animes. If not even my absolute favorite. Yeah, they always put the best parts in the trailers, and it's so frustrating because then you watch the anime and the whole thing just loses its impact, and it's not that special anymore because you already know. So oh yeah, that's where it came from, and that's it. Not that interesting anymore, which is very frustrating. Okay, let's try a side profile. Let's see if we can make it look good. With side profiles, I always find it's easier if you start with the eyes and try to orient yourself around the eyes. And eyes usually are right in the middle. Like if you see this here being the face, the eyes are in the middle. And once you have those, in my experience, it's easier to build up. I do like doing the eyebrows after, because they help me with the face structure a lot. Then I can just do this and that. Then we have the nose. Might have to change the nose, but we'll see. I don't know, I enjoy side profiles. I like drawing them. I think they're fun and interesting. They can turn out very 2D, very flat, which, depending on what you're doing, might be the thing you're going for. I usually am not. I don't want my drawings to look flat. It's not something I want. But who knows? Maybe that's your style. Maybe you want that. In that case, good for you, man. I wish. I've also been trying new things with like mouths in the side profile specifically, because they always look so unnatural and they're so difficult to draw. I've been trying to, basically study other people's work and see how they do it and what they do. Yeah, they require the kissy lips, they do. Which for me, for some reason, are difficult to do. Yeah, there we go. Not too bad. But they always, that's my problem. I can't do variations. Like, it's so difficult for me to do someone with, like, different expressions, I guess. Which is probably one of the reasons why my side profiles, oh god no, why my side profiles tend to look flat or 2D. Because it's difficult to get emotions across. Okay, that's not too bad. It's basically what I do all the time, but like I said, these are just comfort sketches. I'm not necessarily looking into improving too much, so it's fine. I also tend to always do the head way too big, as you can see here. Like, this part is way too big for what we're doing. So for some reason, that's one thing I always do wrong, even if I consciously try not to. Even if I consciously try to do it smaller, I just do it too big every single time. I just gotta take that back. Gotta make it look good. Start shading small stuff so you feel more secure. I've been wanting to get back into making YouTube videos too, which might take a bit longer than streaming. Oh my god, apologize. Oh, I wish. I do. I really have to try practice making more emotional faces. Definitely, for sure. But it's way more difficult for me because I always feel like they look unnatural in a way. Especially the more like holes I get in there and all that stuff. Or they just look old. That's also a thing I struggle with. Like, making people not look old as soon as I put in small things. That's very. I think I would too if I just sat down and did it, like trying to draw the faces. I've been getting better, at least a tiny bit better, at drawing from reference when it comes to faces. Especially because of the whole figure studying stuff I've been doing. I tend to try to ignore the faces when I do figure drawing because I struggle so much with it, so they just become just nameless and faceless circles. But I've been trying to avoid that. I've been trying to do it and just get over it, which can be more difficult than one thinks, at least for me. But I think I've gotten a bit better. I've also been trying to make different faces, not always the same ones, not always the same, even not always the same like ethnicity, because I do draw. I take a lot of reference from myself, so they usually tend to look very similar, every single one, which is not great. And even like taking reference from myself, I don't do necessarily a lot, but I guess more than I should or more than I want to. But I feel like I've been getting better at that as well. And fun. I had a commission where I had to draw two women, which were both beautiful, by the way, like really beautiful women, and it was for their podcast. And they both had faces that I had never drawn, at least types of faces I had never drawn, which was very, very interesting for me and a very nice opportunity to just try new things and get used to drawing different people. I did take heavy reference because I wanted them to look like them, which can be tricky sometimes. But I had a lot of fun, and they were very happy with it, which I was insanely glad for. Because I do get very insecure about commissions and people liking them, because they are paying money. And I want them to be happy with the product. That should be the main thing. Sketch is not turning too bad. It's not my favorite, but not too bad. That's what we're aspiring here. Not trying to make my. Thank you. Yeah, drawing hair is tricky. Drawing hair is very. I usually can't really explain how I draw hair because it's a lot of just trying to find what looks good or what feels good, even, especially if you do like flowy hair. It's just a matter of, yeah, you just gotta get the feeling. That's basically what it is. But it's an interesting thing, to be honest. Like, drawing hair is. I apologize, I just muted myself. Drawing hair is not easy. That's true. But I don't know. I think I always have a lot of fun, especially if I draw like very flowy hair. That's the one I enjoy the most, I think. Because it's just trying to make it look like it's doing its thing. Also, something I really enjoy doing and I would recommend doing a lot is doing these sections like this, where you're sort of, I think those are helpful to make it look like it's not just an abstract shape, it's like more of a 3D object, I guess. You're trying to make it feel 3D, or at least make it feel like it could be something that has volume to it. Because I think that's the thing, at least I used to struggle a lot with that hair didn't look like it had any volume. So it just looked really flat. And that's not necessarily something you want with hair, unless that's specifically the one you're going for. But I usually am not. I like the flowing one. And I also never really do line art when it comes to hair. Which is why if you look at my like ink pieces or traditional pieces, or just illustrations in general, I think you'll see that I tend to make the hair just a big black mass and then get the flow in it with all the little strands that look out from the sides. I think that's a good way to do it if you're not that good at it. Because I'm the same. I think it's an easier way to make it look like hair, to be honest. Especially all the little strands. I think a lot of people underestimate how much that can change. Because if you look at actual hair, almost no one has just a block of hair. Like, hair is very free and it moves around and it doesn't care about what you want. It doesn't care about what you would like it to do. So I think that's probably a good way to start. Just trying to get the movement into it. Try to make it look a bit more loose. I think that's what I enjoy here. Fun. It's free. It doesn't really... No, it's not restricted. I like it. I have to... This is something that happens a lot. I have the drawing, and I know something about it annoys me. But I'm not sure what it is. I think I might have to just push this. Used the wrong one. Make it a bit shorter. Yeah. This might be the solution. Maybe. Let's hope for it. Because to be honest, I'm not necessarily in the mood to work on it for too long. Because they're supposed to be just warm-up sketches for today. Yeah, I think this one's better. I think it was the chin that just went too far down. I think, maybe. Could be. I don't know. Sometimes it's just a feeling that something is wrong. Or something doesn't work. Or doesn't look like you want it to. Yeah, I also think the face was a bit too narrow, I guess. Or like too short in a way. Is why I moved it a bit to the front. I think it looks better. I tend to do noses very long, especially in side profiles. I tend to do them very long, which is not really something I want to. It's something that happens. Let's try to figure out if I can do a body. It's always a hit or miss, to be honest. Like, drawing bodies is hard. And making them look natural is hard too. I have such an issue with like shoulders. Oh, that's not too bad. Wow. First try. It's surprising. I have a lot of issues with shoulders. Like with how far they're supposed to go, or I don't know, they just tend to look very unnatural very quickly when I draw them. Not just shoulders in general. Shoulders are great. But yeah, I do that a lot. I have a lot of issues with shoulders and how they're supposed to be. Maybe that's a big reason why I struggle with drawing guys too. Because, you know, shoulders are kind of a big difference between like men and women, or like manlier bodies and feminine bodies, or that. I think that's why, maybe. I don't know. Again, just something I could work on, but I don't, because I'm insecure. I don't know. I don't know why I say it like that. Why is my program not? You can see sometimes I think I just pressed the wrong wrong button, and it just changes to something that I wasn't necessarily wanting. It can be very annoying, but it's fine. We managed to get through it, you know. That's just how we roll. I also really like drawing ears lately. Yeah, my shoulders tend to look too narrow for the head. Like, it usually looks like the head doesn't necessarily work with those shoulders, or it looks like the shoulders wouldn't be able to hold up the head like they do in the picture, which is very frustrating, because then everything just looks like Lego blocks, just one stacked on top of the other without any rhyme or reason, which is not necessarily something you want, or at least not something I want. Something I've been doing a lot is this, just to emphasize that it's a 3D face and it's not a flat face. I do that now a lot, and I'm pretty sure it's not entirely realistic, I guess. At least not if you have like an actual full side view. But I don't care. I just want it to look good. And it does. At least it looks better. Also, yeah, lips. Lips in the side profile are hard. At least for me. They tend to look very unnatural and sort of like painted on, which is not really something I want. I want them to look normal. But you know, what is normal? Maybe it's someone who likes to exaggerate their lips. I don't know. Nose seems too big. But I like the shape of it. I might just leave it. Hey, it's a lady with a big nose. Who cares? I like big noses. I think big noses are so pretty and nice. And I draw them a lot. I know, they give character. I feel like they just give character a lot. I enjoy drawing them a lot. I used to do it even more, I think. I used to draw noses way bigger, which I still like. I might just keep that up. That looks kind of creepy. Why does that look creepy? I think it's just... Yeah, I've learned that there's like a shadow basically under, like on the top part of your nose. There is, and it makes sense. In between your brow bones, there's supposed to be a shadow. It makes sense. And I do like doing it sometimes. But then sometimes it's like now, where it just looks creepy. And that's not the point. I'm not trying to do a creepy face. It's not what I'm trying. I don't know, it's weird. Small things can change everything. Especially in faces. not too bad. A tool I found in Clip Studio Paint, which I'm very sure it's a tool that is everywhere, is drawing with effects. I don't know if that makes sense. I do not remember what it's called in English, to be honest. Yeah, this one. It's like you draw with, basically just draw. It reminds a lot of like the comic book style, which I really enjoy. I think it looks sick. I really like it. Sick as in good, not bad. I really enjoy it. I think it gives it like a sort of old school vibe, I guess. It's very nice to shade with it. When I did the corpse husband fan art, the corpse husband illustration, I only used ink or the ink tool, and I basically did all the shading with this, and it looked so cool. Like, I was so happy with it. I think it looked really, really cool. And no, I'm just glad I found out how it works in Clip Studio Paint. I keep getting advertisements for like brush packs where it's in it, but it's always for Procreate, so for the iPad, or it's for Photoshop, which I don't enjoy using. I don't know if that's controversial or different, but I don't enjoy using Photoshop, especially for drawing. I just really, really don't. I think it's so impractical, and it feels very unnatural and very complicated, which it shouldn't have to be. I don't know if that has to do with the tablet I have, because I do not have a Wacom, and I also don't have an Apple computer. So that might also be the case. I don't know. But there's something about Photoshop that I don't enjoy on my tablet and my computer. I do enjoy it in school, because in school we have Apple computers, which is the craziest thing ever. But there I do enjoy it more than I do at home. But yeah, I usually think it's overrated and it's way too expensive for what it actually is. Especially because there are so many programs that do the same thing, if not better, for a way lower price. Like, way lower. So, I don't know. I never really recommend Photoshop. Because, gotta be resourceful. Not everyone has the money to buy it because it's really expensive. Like, you pay every month and you pay, almost $20 every month. Yeah, Photoshop is so complicated and it's so weird. And also Photoshop, for some reason, because I have a Huion tablet, which is not a Wacom, obviously. But I can recommend a lot because it's really good. But for some reason, it doesn't register the buttons I have on the side with Photoshop. So I can't use all the shortcuts I have installed on it. I can't use like the easiest ones I can't use, which is insanely frustrating when you're trying to work because you just can't do anything. And I've been, oh no, that's not what I want done. And I've just been trying to avoid using it as much as I can. There it is. Oh my god. Just snapped out of it. That's so weird. I've been avoiding using it a lot. I use it to work on pictures, do that. But I don't use it for anything else. And it's mostly school stuff, so fine. No, I don't. My Clip Studio Paint was so easy to set up, which oh my god, this sounds like an ad. but it isn't. It was so easy to set up, and I think in the beginning, like as soon as I got it, I had to figure out how to set up the different keys, which was mostly because I haven't had no idea. So it took a while to like understand, but that was mostly on the side of the tablet because I had no idea where I could change stuff or how to change it so that it worked with all the programs and all that. But yeah, no, Clip Studio Paint's great. Yeah, it does. So many people. Oh, it's so underrated, I think. Which might be wrong. Like I have no idea how many people have the program. It might be insanely popular. I keep seeing more artists using it, which makes me very happy. It makes me feel included. No, that's a joke. It doesn't like it has nothing to do with that. I just enjoy people being able to enjoy art at a lower price point because it's so much more affordable. It's insane, especially for all the features that it has. And it's also a one-time buy, which was probably the biggest sell point for me because the whole having to pay every single month just to use the programs is so insane. Yeah, and it's on sale so often. Like basically, I think maybe 4 times a year you can get it half off, which is $25, but it's $25 and then you have the program forever. Like there's basically no catch to it, to be honest. There is an extended version. I think it's called Expert, which sounds interesting, but I don't think I need it yet. At least not for what I do. And it is definitely more expensive. It's like 160 or something. It's by far more expensive than the Pro one. But it's very interesting if you enjoy doing comics because it has the option to do panels. Yeah, and you can make animations. That's pretty cool. I I don't think I've ever done an animation yet. We're apparently going to have a project at school where we do animations. There's a lot of graphic designers work with animations, so we are going to be doing that. I'm very interested in knowing what we're going to use. I'm pretty sure it's going to be an Adobe program, which, you know, yeah, it sounds very fun. I would, I think I would like to just learn to do it in general so I can know how it works. But I will probably not go farther than just the whole like animating a moving like a bouncy ball or something. I don't think I could do more, especially because if you're gonna animate characters, at least in the style that I would like, which is like more the traditional one where you draw every frame. If you want to draw or animate characters, you have to be able to draw them the same every single time. They need to look like the same characters, and I'm notoriously bad at that. I'm so bad at drawing the same person even twice. I'm very, very bad at it. So I try not to, which is fine with me because I get bored too easily to draw a lot of characters a lot. These are turning. Work on this one a bit more. But it's, yeah, I think I would like to learn a bit. It sounds fun. It's the same with like coding. Yesterday I had a huge conversation with someone I know about coding and like writing program or like programming and all that stuff. And I think I have a huge interest for it. I think it's very fun. I think, especially because you can do so much with it. It's like limitless basically. And I would like to learn, but I have no idea where to start. And at the moment I just don't have the time and the energy to like keep it up. But at some point I would like to do it because it's fun. Yeah. No, I think it's fun. I like figuring out how stuff works. So I think that's why it would work for me. Because I enjoy figuring out how things work, which is why I want to build a computer. I love the idea of knowing exactly what is in it and how it works and what it's doing, and I just love that so much. I think that's so fun. Yeah, but coding sounds very, very complicated. to be honest. Especially to someone who has never done it. I think it sounds very, very complicated. There's a lot of great YouTube content centered around it. There's this guy, Michael Reeves, who is also a Twitch streamer. The same as like Christopher Yee, which I mentioned like an hour ago. But Michael Reeves does really, really funny YouTube videos where he does like sort of, I think it's very science based. It's very much programming based, and it's just fun. Like his stuff is so fun to watch. I don't know. I think it looks interesting. I don't know if I would succeed, to be honest, but it's worth a try, I think. Who knows? Maybe, maybe someday. But my first thing is just I want to do the computer more than anything else. I really want to do anything apart from that, firstly. Because, I mean, in the end, if you want to code, you probably need a computer. So, even if I wanted to, I needed it. And also, I have different priorities at the moment. Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. Coding is maybe one day. Maybe one day I will. Maybe one day soon. Who knows? I tend to give myself too many projects though. So I have to be careful. Let's do some more textures. Why not? Can't have enough. I also have projects that I want to do with like my art and stuff. It's not just other things. I'm also like working on the. I'm also looking at. I've been doing notepads, or I've done a design for a notepad, which I'm very, very proud of. I'm gonna be looking into actually making the product and, you know, taking nice pictures of it, and maybe I'll do a pre-order because it's sometimes people underestimate how difficult it is to make products as an independent artist, because it's very difficult to invest into it if you aren't 100% sure that you're gonna be able to like make the money back, I guess, which is surprisingly difficult in a lot of ways. Especially because sometimes you just miss the mark. Sometimes you just buy the wrong thing. And or just design the wrong thing and people aren't interested enough in it. Or the people that are interested in it don't have the means to buy it, which is fine. It's absolutely fine. I get that. More than anything. Like, oh my God. And also, I don't want to just create stuff just for the sake of selling it. That's not fun for me. It's not something I want to do. I just wanted to do a notepad because I like writing on notepads. So I wanted to do one with my design, and that's basically what I did. Which is what I usually try to think about, like stuff I would like or stuff that I would use. Why I think I do so many stickers, because I have an unhealthy obsession with stickers, to be honest. But yeah, difficult. It's very can be very frustrating not knowing what you want to do, or being very excited for something and then it just flops, which is fine. Like things, that's you live and you learn. Just try out, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And that's just how it is. And I do enjoy that about it too. Like it's not just negative. I enjoy the trial, and I enjoy I can't even talk. And I enjoy like figuring out things, and even, and obviously it sucks when one of your products just fails, or when people aren't happy with it, or people aren't like enjoying it as much as you are. But in the end, as long as I can say that it was something I wanted to do and that I liked doing, for me that's almost enough. Because it's, I would hate to create stuff I hated or that I didn't enjoy even a little bit. I can take it. I can take that little. I can take that little F. I don't know if you can even say that. I don't know. But I can. I can live with it. Fine. As long as I get to create what I want, I'm fine. I'm gonna be putting the finishing touches on these, and then it would already be over, which went surprisingly quickly. I was very anxious at the beginning. I'm not the best at speaking, not the best person, especially at public speaking, at least not in my opinion. I get very, very anxious, especially speaking to people I don't know, which streaming is basically only that. So it's interesting. But I have enjoyed it, and I do enjoy it. I think I just do enjoy sharing my opinion on things, which I'm not sure if that's a like sort of narcissistic thing to say, but I enjoy sharing my opinion. I enjoy talking about things that I care about, and interesting. I I want to do this like more often because it's fun and it's a good way for me to get out of my, first of all, to get out of my comfort zone in regards to talking strangers, I guess. We're talking in general, putting myself out there, all of that stuff. But also, apart from that, it's also a way for me to connect with people, which is almost the thing I'm most excited about, to be honest. Just want to have fun, get to know new people. I got to know so many people on Instagram, so many amazing artists. Oh, thank you so much. I'm very glad that you enjoyed it. I'm very glad that I was able to talk. But yeah, I've met so many amazing artists while being on Instagram, which I've been for like I think 5 years now. I've been on it for a while, which also, casual moment to just plug if you want to follow me there. Um, like all the links are in the description. But yeah, I've met a lot of people. I've talked to a lot of people. I have a lot of international friends now, which are very dear to my heart. I enjoy speaking to them a lot. It's always great, especially if you do a job or if you do have a hobby that requires for you to basically be alone, I guess, or be more alone than maybe most people are. Because when I draw in my room, and I'm, by myself watching my things, which is fine. It's how I like it. I don't enjoy drawing with other people that much, unless it's like a drawing date, which can be fun. But it's not where I produce my actual illustrations, so not the same. But yeah, my computer is starting to have to struggle, which is fine because we're almost finished. Anyway, I think I'm gonna leave it like this, otherwise I'll overwork it again, which is not what I want. But I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you have fun. I had a lot of fun, to be honest. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a very nice evening. And I'll see you guys soon, hopefully. Okay. Bye.